Okay, Ask RVD. Here we go. Ash 10 Shoe asks, this is a pretty interesting one. If you had to do a different diving finisher than the 5-star frog splash, what would have been maybe your second choice?
Well, my first choice actually used to be the split-legged moonsault.
Okay. Yeah. Because you would pull that out at, more.
And then in All Japan, they call it the Hollywood Star Press. That's just what they called it. And Ron Slinker, the crazy dude that gave me the name Van Dam from Florida, he said in the end of December of '92 when he got me a job in WCW. Bill Watts was the promoter, and so this would have been like January of '93. He says you got to come up with a stronger finish because the split leg moonsault is pretty, but it doesn't have a lot of impact. And the guys I was wrestling were mostly bigger than me at that time. It was different business.
Yeah, sure.
So I took that advice, and I at the time I thought, what could be more impactful than me jumping up as high as I could possibly get and coming down and just crashing my entire weight on somebody with all my momentum and force. So that's how I decided to start doing the frog splash. But since then, I think a Van Terminator would be actually more force because then I'm able to actually kick and push on top of my momentum of said weight and gravity.
Well, I remember too watching him being like, dude, he could finish anybody with the 5-star, the Van Daminator, or the Van Terminator. It's like those are all three finishers, in my opinion. I thought so.
The leg was soft. It was soft and pretty.
It was a neat signature move, though. Like it was just like, ooh, all right, yeah. Yeah. Well, so, a quick follow up on that. What I always liked was when you did the 5-star frog splash, you would sell the pain yourself too. That when you would do it, and then you go to make the pin. When did you start incorporating that?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I always, Sabu trained me that way so that when two people hit each other, they both feel it. And it's back to that. Like I said, I was taught to believe in the moment all the time. Now they're like, they check in and they check out and they're like, okay, I'm ready for you over here. And they stop working. And it's like, it's so different now, but it just goes to that mentality of always believing everything. Like if we do a shoulder tackle, boom, and drop down, you just ran. I mean, two shoulders hitting each other is that's very impactful from a couple of 240-pound guys, bam. And a lot of people, they just don't even think about it because they just, boom, they bump. And they're just like, okay, I want to make sure the timing's right when I roll over. And there's something to be said about being natural or unnatural, and that plays a big part in how comfortable people are with stuff. But that, Sabu, he taught me, bam, when you punch somebody, you feel it in your hand, don't shake it off every time. And if you're a real big guy and you bam and do that, then I think it looks bad. If you're real big, you shouldn't be shaking your hand. I mean, yeah. I get it. You were trained to at least believe you felt that, but you're a really big dude. Yeah. But there's something called a realm. That's what I got trained in too. Like, you told me don't do moves that are outside of your realm.
Yeah.
That stuff that doesn't exist anymore either because little dudes are power bombing you or doing a power bomb throw into the corner, even if they're not giants. And all of that changed as well. Like that's something that probably hasn't been talked about a lot in how the style has changed.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too, because you see it on both ends of the spectrum where like big dudes are doing crazy flips and all that stuff, which is impressive. But then you also have the little dudes doing stuff too. It's like very much outside the realm.
That's why I love it when the big dudes fuck up. I don't love it, but I think it's funny because it's like that. They try and give the impression that anybody can do everything and everyone's got the same athletic abilities and talents, and they don't, No. And if you stay in your comfortable realm, then it's better. He used to tell me that, Sabu, about Vader. When Vader would do the moonsault, he'd say, that's not right. He shouldn't do that. That's out of his realm. He should, save that move for the other guys. And that's just the philosophy that Sabu passed on to me, which, which I always had. I could gorilla press more than my body weight, but I only did it a few times, like in ECW. I do it with Spike or Little Guido. I did it with Jerry Lynn and Scotty Anton just because, they'd seen me do it a few times, but it wasn't going to be something where I wanted to be known as the guy that gorilla pressed, because at 235 pounds, that didn't used to make you the biggest wrestler.
Right. No. And what I think that also adds to things is like, it just shows different styles of different wrestlers. So it's like, boom, like you're going up against like a Vader who says he doesn't do, if he didn't do this stuff, it would make sense that you're doing these moonsaults and stuff like that against a bigger dude. And like,
wouldn't it be weird if I was powerbombing Vader and he was doing moonsaults?
Weird.
Yeah.
It'd be really fucking weird.
I don't want to see that match.
No, I don't either. All right.